So I took you guys with me yesterday to Home Goods. And I have not stopped thinking about that reel I shared in part 1 of my fall decorating from Randi Garret Design, where she has so many trays on her island, smaller trays all together. And it is just so glamorous. And in part 1, we did a lot of neutral decorating, but I missed the glam, you guys. I really need to add in the blues and the whites and the glitz and the glamour. So we're gonna work on a lot of that today. First though is I just picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. I grabbed another one of these coffee table books. I only decorate with these. I should be looking through this. Like, that's kind of the point. I'm going to do that. But I love to decorate with these books that are in the blue and white tones. And I do have a stack over here on this table we did in part 1. So I want to start another stack somewhere in the living room with this. Just fits in so perfectly. And then look at this huge pumpkin tray. So we're going to start with this. On the island, I think I grabbed this tray. It's like a mirror in the middle, and then the gold and the white. And also one thing I've noticed, guys, is a lot of the trays that I get are so huge. I don't really have smaller ones. So I loved how she decorated with smaller ones all together. So I kept that in mind when I was looking for some trays. I grabbed this one, which is almost like a plate. It was $3.99. Like, how could I not get that? For a candle or whatnot to go on top, or even stacking within a single tray on top. That's really pretty. And then this one, it's almost like a sunflower. That's very fall, very cute. And then the last thing is this guy. So this was a great deal. This was $9.99, and I thought we could do a really pretty arrangement with this. Or it's just, I don't know. I want to say it's so unique. I feel like some of you will be like, it's not, but it could be a vase or a vessel. I love the handles on it. That feels very fall to me, at least. So let's get to decorating. So we're not going to start from scratch, but I do want to begin with the trays we just got, like Randi Garret, and then we'll go from there. Larger here, smaller. I probably won't do this, so nobody panic, but I just need to see what it looks like. I do like to flip a tray like this if the base is the same size as what's going on it, because obviously we don't want to see this black here. That doesn't look right. Well, we are doing a quick field trip to Michael's for some Randi Garret Design items. I need some blue and white picks like her. The only ones I have are like very summery, and we need some, or summery or wintry, but I need some fall ones. And then also I saw that she had or has these jars out for flour and sugar with these gold spoons. You guys, it looks so dreamy. Like, it looks, oh my gosh. So I found my topiary jars. I've had them in storage for a couple of years, and I haven't found a way to use them, but I think we can use them for that. So I'm excited. Let's go find our Randi Garret Design items and then continue decorating. Okay, I was gonna get this, but this is a little more of like a faded green, and I think that's a little more Randi Garret than this. I didn't even realize this until I was in the store, but the exact same ones I have are available at Michael's, so I must have bought them here. I'll link them below if you guys are interested, but I love these because they literally never go out of style. They're pretty timeless. I always said I would never buy the gold measuring spoon solely just to have, because I feel like it was kind of wasteful, but if it's for a video and for decorating, I feel like it's justified, and I know I will use them like all through the holiday season for Christmas and whatnot. So girl, I think I'm gonna get those tonight. And real quick, I wanted to insert a couple seconds of Randi Garret's Instagram. She has a blog too, but so you guys can see a lot of photos here. I'm going to be referencing her a lot throughout the video. I get so much inspiration from her, so if you're not familiar, this is her style and the look that we're going for and just very inspired by in general. And spoiler alert, once I fill these drawers, it is like my favorite thing in the house at the moment. I've just never done anything like it, and it's so festive and cozy. So we will get to that. I first just want them to air dry, be completely dry before we fill them. Also, last night I did start to fill this arrangement, and I told you guys I'm really trying to work on negative space because normally all of my arrangements are really bulky and like as full as they can be, but I feel like negative space is the current vibe and trend this year, so I'm definitely working on that too. So I wanted to take a quick second to show you guys how I get fueled for these videos. Part of that is definitely Daily Harvest. Also, thank you so much to Daily Harvest for sponsoring this video. I've been buying these for years. I love these, and Daily Harvest also makes it easy to build a daily morning routine around healthy ingredients you can actually trust. There are so many good flavors. Today I'm having the strawberry and peach. It just sounds really refreshing. I love peaches and strawberries. Then you just fill it to the top with your preferred liquid. So I like to use oat milk. Beautiful, look at that color. I love that I can actually pronounce all of their ingredients. Like, let me tell you, organic strawberries, organic bananas, organic peaches, organic raspberries, and then organic gluten-free whole grain oats, organic flax seeds, organic goji berries. Their food is grown, not engineered. There's no mystery ingredients, just actual fruits and veggies. They also ship directly to you and frozen for a reason, with the nutrients and flavor locked in at their peak. Plus, you guys know I work out regularly, I try to be health conscious, and I really do feel like these help me reach my health goals because they're right here in the freezer and I just have to pop them in the blender. So I honestly do feel like this helps me make much healthier choices than I typically would if I just had to grab a bunch of different ingredients to make smoothies. It takes longer, you need a little more motivation, but this is just so quick and easy. You guys should use my code Alexandra15 to get 15% off your first box of $100 or more. So real quick, I just want to show you guys what I'm working with before I start these arrangements. I am going to try and use these over these. They're more full and luxe, and they're just harder to bend. I don't want to cut these, so I'll see what I can do because these are shorter. And then I showed you guys these, I think, and these I didn't show up close. These are so beautiful, very Randi Garret design. She definitely hasn't used anything like this in that reel I keep sharing. So I want to be very inspired by her, obviously, but still make it my own too. So I was able to bend those first stems to save them for a larger arrangement another day, which was great. But these small ones, I'm using a wire cutter to separate. I did try and save them, but it just truly wasn't worth the hassle. And I knew they weren't going to look as nice if I didn't separate them because I really needed to mix small pieces with those large stems. That way it just has a lot more dimension. And honestly, I feel like they look so much nicer by the end. I feel like this is going well, you guys. Like, this looks so professional to me. I want to add in a little more blue in the middle, but I'm gonna wait until we have this one going. Doesn't it look so nice? Okay, let's do this one. Gotta really fold these. So we have our arrangements going, and now I wanted to move some things around. I have that new coffee table book, as you know, and I have 3 right here. So I'm gonna put 2 here. That way I have 2 to stack over here. Also, one of the pumpkins that was above the kitchen sink, I put over there on those bugs. And then I'm doing a new setup on this coffee table too. So you guys know how much I love to mix it up, try new things and different, styles of my decor, but also I always do these follow throughs. So I want the same colors, same patterns, same arrangements to repeat in a different area in a similar way. Still have its own feel, but a similar vibe. So that's why I want one of these arrangements in the living room, one in the kitchen, and then we'll do something similar in the dining area. That way everything connects together from these arrangements. Here's what I ordered on Amazon yesterday. These were a very good deal. I think they were $12 for both, and a lot of the other ones were like $15 or $22 for only the measuring cups, not the teaspoons. So I'm happy about that purchase. I'm gonna hand wash them real quick so they can air dry so we can fill those up, because I just need to see that done. And then I thought this was gold. I really hope these are gold. The legs are gold, and you guys, I know this is like way too excited to be about a drying rack, but I honestly cannot believe how much better it looks in my kitchen and in my current drying rack. Definitely has an elevated feel. And the stone, it says it dries really quickly. I honestly thought that was like a fake selling point, but it really does. It's kind of amazing how fast it dries, looks 10 times better. And the whole reason I even thought to get this in the first place is because I have shared this Randi reel a billion times, watched it a billion times, and I realized she has these really nice stone, like these marble plates on either side of her sink for a drying rack, so I wanted to look for less. So that's what inspired me to search for this on Amazon, but all in all, I'm just really excited about it. I'll show it to you in detail a little bit later. Now we are filling up these jars with our sugar and our flour. We'll put in our cute spoons, and that whole corner of the kitchen is just gonna have a totally very elevated moment. Alright, so now I'm going to put the legs on this new drying rack, and then I'll show you guys the comparison side by side here so you can see I'm not being like over exaggerating. At least I don't think so. Like, look how much better this looks than the one next to it. And also that rectangle on the top, that was just like a separate piece it came with. I don't even think that was in the listing, so I'm surprised. I think that's like for soap or something, but I don't really need that for soap since I have the taller one, so I just left it where it is. Also, see how it's like not sitting on the counter? It has a little bit of space under it. I feel like that makes it look so much nicer. So I love a sink area, as you guys know I always have. Now my spoon holders, I'm calling them spoons, but I know it's a measuring cup. They are completely dry, so I can add them into the flour and the sugar, and I just think they look so nice. I get endless ideas from Randi Garret, and this is one that I've never tried. I feel like I've tried so many things when it comes to decorating, but this is just so homey and cozy. It's going to inspire me to bake throughout the holiday season, and I'm just very pumped about it. So let me know if you guys try it too. So now let's move on to the living room shelves. And I feel like Randi Garret Design would add picks, you guys. In part one, I told you I felt like they were too empty and I needed more pumpkins. And if you're a regular viewer, then you know sometimes I fill up the shelves too much and they're too full. So I feel like this could be the balance we need to add a little more flair and festiveness, without them being too full. So let's see how they look after the picks. Okay, I'm going to add a little more, but so far I do really like it. From back here, can you see how it's just a little bit of added detail, nothing crazy? So we are just seconds away from our final walkthrough. I did some things off camera and I want to show you guys how it all came together. But these were something I pulled off the counter stools. We'll talk about it a little more in detail in just a second, but I feel like they needed a new home. So I'm interested to see if you guys like them here or there more. I'll show you pics of both. Okay guys, so let's start our tour for part 2 in the same spot. That way we can compare and contrast. And the first thing I'll show you is I did end up taking the wreaths off of these stools in person. I feel like it was a little too heavy. Honestly, I did like what it looked like in the video, like on screen. But in person, it just felt too bulky for the moment. I feel like for holiday and Christmas decor, it can be super heavy and all out. But fall, I feel like it's not quite as heavy, for me at least, as Christmas. So for now, we're just gonna do these little velvet bows, but such an easy and inexpensive way to add a little flair to your counter stools or bar stools if you have them. And then we kind of redid everything in the center here, but I really like it. And I did tell you guys in the last one that I wanted to try something a little bit asymmetrical. So it definitely is, but it still works, I think. And gosh, I just love all of those smaller trays. I probably say tray like 30 times in all of these videos because, you know, I like to decorate with them so much. But again, I didn't really have smaller ones, so now we do. This should be, I should have these on for you guys actually. Let's just pretend they're on. But I think it looks really nice over here. Very Randi Garret inspired for part 2. One thing I still have not found is a new rug, so I'm going to keep my eye out, but I just feel like those orange warm tones are a little too much for all of the blue and the golds that we have. This I'm obsessed with, you guys. I'm like proud of myself for that one. And then over here, I kept this the same as the last video. This, let me turn this down so you guys can see the detail a little bit better. Obsessed. I honestly think it makes the space look so much nicer. Like, I wish I bought that forever ago. But we finally have it. One area I will be doing with you guys in the next one is up here because it's not a whole lot at the moment. So we're gonna work on that. If you have any ideas, definitely let me know. And then the shelves up there. So I told you I was thinking of the ginger jars, but what I ended up doing is just adding a bunch of these pumpkins around the existing pumpkins and acorn and squash in the corner over there. So let me know what you guys think about that. I love my ginger jars on those shelves, but since I do that throughout the entire year, I really just wanted to try and find a way to make what was up there work and feel a little more full. And then I was able to pull in the blues and the greens that we have throughout the rest of the space. So definitely a lot happier with that. Obsessed with the little Randi Garret design corner over here with the flour and sugar. I think she has a few more, but you know, she obviously has a lot more space than I do. So I'm just doing like a mini version of her, but I've got the gold scoops in there, the measuring cups, the blue in the middle. Over here, I have this small one to kind of hide this outlet cord. I kind of want to paint that white because I don't want to look at the black cord. It sticks out so much that I'm trying to hide it as best as I can. And then I think I touched on this shortly, but it's a ginger jar, obviously, that I just put the spoons in to switch it out from how it was before to feel a little more Randi Garretified over here. And then I did just a little swap over here on this tray with the salt, pepper, the oil, vinegar, cute little candle. I need to get in the habit of lighting this when I'm cooking dinner. I think that would be really cute. And then I'll just do a little backup over here so you guys can see this area. I'm happy I thought to put a pot out since it's been so long since I decorated like that, but it's just so homey and cozy for the holiday season that highly recommend you try that too. So just one last little swoop over here. Actually, I'm going to back up so you guys can see from this angle when I'm a little further back, but that is our kitchen update for part 2. All right, and now for the living room area. So last time we were just getting started on the coffee table. I had the large brown tray there, but honestly, Forrest, he loves to jump and hop off the table and the couch and whatnot, and he kept falling a lot, and I feel like it was because that was in the way. He couldn't get enough like traction on the table, so that is the main reason that I pulled that off of here. Also, I do feel like it looks a little bit better on the island just since there's more space. I know it's not out period, but I just felt like I needed something different on the table. So I have several different items here. And honestly, I love a coffee table look where there's books and there's candles and there's a bunch of different things and they're all just kind of like centered or laid out in a nice way. So I just did something that I could move easily. Like if it's in the way for him, I can put this stuff up here and it's not a huge deal. It feels a little more of an eclectic vibe, I think, when there's different sections of things. So I do feel like this is an upgrade for sure. And then guys, I really am so happy with the flowers, the little picks that we added onto the shelves as opposed to pumpkins because, you know, I do like to overfill and sometimes that is a fun look, but I like to try things new. I don't want it always super full. So I realized there's one pumpkin on every shelf. There's two on that one, but like for my brain to be full, there has to be at least one on every shelf. But still, it doesn't feel super heavy. So I think that was a win. I'm happy that I like had myself stop and think about it for a second as opposed to just filling it up. So let me know what you guys think about that. I feel like I'm learning over here. Kept everything the same on the couch here. Obviously, we live here. We hang out here. I can't super duper fill it up. I would have a ton of pillows, but then there'd be nowhere to sit. So I've got my decorative ones and then a cozy blanket. I always do a lighter throw in the spring and summer and then heavier throws in the fall and winter. And this is a Barefoot Dreams dupe from Walmart. I've had this a couple of years. You guys, I hope they still have it. If they do, I'll put it on the video, like, you know, a shoppable thing or whatever, but oh my gosh, I love this so much. I should talk about that a lot more. And then this was that arrangement that was in the living room the last time. So I know it's a little heavy over here, but this is sort of, you know, for display. And then for real life right here with the keys and chapsticks and whatever, the pocket contents. But I do like this. This was over by the kitchen sink, the green and the blue, and now there's just the green over there. These were those Walmart ones. I love those so much. And then we didn't add anything to the greenery in this one, so we will in the next one. I asked you guys in part one, what should I add to this? But if you have ideas, let me know because I do want it to be a little more festive. All right, and lastly, the dining area. So you guys will notice I did end up putting these wreaths on these chairs, and I think they look so much better. I do still have two left, so I might add them onto my office doors and get some more ribbon for the next one. Let me know what you guys think about that idea. And then also I did do a different arrangement in the middle. So the leftover picks and greenery I had, I did put in a white ginger jar. I grabbed these guys. I've had them for a couple of years. Those were a Home Goods find, those placemats. And then I didn't do a whole lot on the rest of this, but just a little update to have a follow through from the living room and the kitchen so it all blends together nicely. As far as pillows, I didn't find a long bolster pillow, so I just put these two smaller ones here to give that effect in the middle. And then I added a few more pillows on the other side. I know it's pillow heavy, but we don't really sit here a ton, you guys. So, you know, if we were, I would remove some, but since it's really a focal point and just something that I walk by and look at throughout the day, I feel like it's okay to fill it up. All in all though, I definitely feel like this is some good progress over here. So I think it goes without saying, we're gonna do a part 3, you guys, because I haven't even gone into the DIYs and I just need those for my soul. I love a decorating DIY. I didn't get to any sort of garland in the living room, and you guys know the garland last year was a hot take. Some of you loved it, some of you thought it was terrible. I really loved it, obviously, but I need something there. I just think it's so fun and festive, and I cut that garland apart this year to spread those pumpkins all around. So I need to do something there. I have my paper, I have this brown paper and this gold paint I used last year, and I cut out leaves, so I want to do something like that. One of you had a great idea to put some fake leaves on the inside of those pendant lights above the island, so that way when you turn the lights on, it's like the shape of leaves. I thought that was a great idea. That, or I might do like the gold paper leaves kind of going up and wrapping around. I don't know. I need some DIYs, obviously, to just really make it extra festive and homey. So probably move a couple of things around in part 3, but keep it mostly DIYs for everyone who's interested in that. And what else do I have for you guys? I think that's pretty much everything. I'm so proud of myself that it's halfway through September, a little over halfway, and this is already my second fall decorating video. Oh, also, actually, I should do some outdoor decorating in part 3 too. So I'll probably do like porch decorating and then the DIYs. Okay, that will be a good video. Keep an eye out for that. I have another Walmart fashion video coming soon for you guys. And then honestly, I need to think of some video ideas because those are like the only 2 I have on my roster at the moment. So let me know what you guys want to see next on my channel. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you guys so much. I hope you know that. And I will see you right here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye.